Hi, my name's Will, a designer at Light My Bricks. In this video, I'll show you how to light up the LEGO Mini Bonsai Trees using our DIY bundle, a curated set of DIY packs designed for you to add lights to your set after it's already built. Follow along at your own pace, and feel free to pause or rewind the video whenever you need. First, we're going to be opening up the Astro Spotlight pack in warm white. We'll find Astro Large Warm White 30cm lights, the 1x1 round plate with open stud, 1x1 plate modified with bar handle, and a skeleton arm with horizontal grip. First, we'll grab our large Astrolight and we're going to bend the end into a 90-degree position as I show here. Now we can thread the plug end of that Astrolight through our 1x1 round plate with open stud. Make sure you pull this all the way through until the LED sits neatly inside that 1x1 plate. Now we can attach that to our 1x1 plate modified with bar handle. Next up, we'll clip on the skeleton arm just into position here. And at the bottom, we'll be adding on one more of those plates modified with bar handle. The last thing we'll need to do is just thread the cable through that open bar handle here, pulling it all the way through. And then we're going to repeat the same thing on the second bar handle at the bottom, keeping that cable nice and neat, following that skeleton arm cleanly. You just need to complete that process 2 more times to make 3 spotlights in total. Now let's get to lighting. We're going to start with this bonsai here. Just remove this plate off the side. It's going to remove those slope pieces off the side as well. Now I'm going to show you 2 different positions you can mount the spotlight. The first one, I'll be removing this piece right here to place it in this position. Then we can just return that piece back into position right on top of the spotlight. Now all we need to do is attach that side plate back into position on the pot. The second mounting option involves us changing up this spotlight assembly. Remove that last plate modified with bar handle at the bottom, flip it over and reconnect it to the skeleton arm. Then we'll just finish this spotlight by threading that cable back through that modified bar handle. Now the second mounting position will be right here. So we'll just remove this small tile, just making place for the spotlight. Again, we'll just run that cable down through the studs so we can return that plate as well as those slope pieces to the side. Don't forget you can add that removed tile back on top of that spotlight as well. Let's move on to our next mini bonsai. So this one we'll start by removing the small wooden base at the bottom. And then again, we're just going to remove that tile piece on the side of the pot. At the same time, those sloped elements will come away as well. Now we can just remove that small 1x1 green piece and clip our spotlight straight into place. Now repeating the same process as the pot before, we're going to run that cable down in between the studs and then we can return that plate back to the side of the pot. You can put that small 1x1 green piece back into place on top of the spotlight. Now we'll return the bonsai back to its timber base. You can have the cable running underneath the pot if you want it to run out the back. Now let's move on to our last mini bonsai. We're just going to remove the timber base from the pot and repeating the exact same steps of removing that tile piece from the side with the sloped elements as well. Now we're going to be removing this 1x1 tile here and placing our spotlight into position. Again, repeating the same process, we're going to run that cable down the side of the pot in between the studs, very important. And then we'll put that tile piece back into place. Don't forget you can put that tile back on top of the spotlight when you're done. Now the last light that we're going to add in is going to be underneath that large timber base. We're going to flip that over and remove the legs from the base. Make sure you do this slowly and just wiggle each of those legs one at a time until it comes away cleanly. Now we're going to grab our last large Astrolight and 1x1 plate with open stud. We're going to be threading that light through the open stud, same as we did for our spotlights, making sure that we bend our LED at a 90-degree angle at the end so it slots into place inside that 1x1 stud cleanly. Now we just simply attach that 1x1 stud right into place underneath that timber base. Slowly remove that large plate from the underside of the timber base. Just with the pry tool here, I'm going to work around it until it comes away. A couple of pieces came away with it as well. So I'm just going to remove those from the plate and reattach that to the bottom. So as you can see, we've got this cute little frog guy here. We're just going to take our cable and we're going to wrap it around this plate 2 times. This is going to waste a little bit of cable length, so when we plug this into our dock later, it's going to be nice and neat with not too much dangling cable. Make sure when doing this that you're threading the cable in between the studs, not over them, and then put that plate back into place. Now let's grab our 6 dock from our spotlight pack, as well as opening our 1x6 tether pack. Combine our tether with the dock just by clipping those together at the bottom. Attach it onto the timber base. At the same time, I'll have that cable running underneath the dock, just so it's nice and neat. Now we can plug our lights straight into the dock, just into one of those Astro ports. You can bend the cable a little bit just to keep it nice and neat and streamlined with the pot. Now lastly, we can just attach the legs back onto that timber base so it's ready for our plant to sit on top. We can either thread the cable underneath and through that timber base, or you could go straight underneath the pot. Just basically, we need to bring that cable to where our dock is at the back of that timber base. Now we can plug our cable into that 6 dock and bring our other 2 bonsais back into the picture so we can plug those into that 6 dock as well. Now we're going to open up our flux belt and we can plug that straight into our dock. Sweet, that's all done. These sets are so easy to light up and they'd look great in any environment. On a bookshelf or in the center of your table. The great thing is they're interchangeable and you can move them wherever you want. As long as they're running into that 6 dock with your flux power, they're going to look awesome.